Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to all of you in the night show. I'm your host, Bin Salem.
And I'm Rasha. We're so excited to be here with you again. Every Friday night, we have a lot of different news, guests, and a variety of interesting topics.
Yes, Rasha, and we also have amazing guests with us tonight, so stay tuned, and we're going to start with our band as usual.
Tonight, on the night show, our first guest is Dr. Oleksandr Balanutsa. Tonight, on the night show, our first guest is Dr. Oleksandr Balanutsa, the ambassador of Ukraine to the state of Kuwait. Our second guest for this evening is Manaf Al-Awali, a creative and talented producer. After that, we have the cinema segment. All this and more, only on The Night Show.
Welcome to all of you. So tonight we welcome two guests, His Excellency Dr. Oleksandr Balanutsa, and well, he's the ambassador of Ukraine to Kuwait, and there's also Mr. Manaf Al-Awali, a producer, entrepreneur, and classic cars and motorbikes enthusiast. And we have a lot of stuff, Russia, don't we?
Yes, we do, and I'm so excited, especially about tonight's show, because we do have a lot of great news for everybody that's watching us tonight. Things are changing fast in Kuwait, and life is getting back to normal.
Before we get into that, Russia, maybe, we have also our dear Shahabi on that corner. Shahabi, how are you doing tonight? We're doing great.
I'm enjoying the view. I'm getting a book now. I can read peacefully.
I can see that.
Or I can do the hard work from there.
You look so relaxed in there.
Thank you.
Good for you. We're not going to let you relax all the time. We're going to, pick on you every time and then. Till we have our movie segment.
Sure.
Okay, so Kuwait did actually return to normal life with no mask at all in the open places. And visas are also will be granted for the vaccinated people.
That's right.
In addition to this, the airport will open at its full capacity starting from day after tomorrow, Sunday, 24th of October.
That's right, Bin Salem. Councils of Ministers announced that the return will be normal, and the normal life, of course. Casually will return to Kuwait, and cautiously, please. That doesn't mean that we need to just stay still safe and, take care of yourself, your kids. That doesn't mean that that life is not going back to normal. Just be careful. There will be the conferences are open, weddings, and social events also will return for vaccinated individuals.
True, Kuwait government decided to allow the holding of conferences, as you said, Rasha, weddings, and social events. This is from Sunday, 24th of October, as we said. And the best of all is that wearing the mask is not required, it's not mandatory in open places anymore. And as we said, this is going to start effectively from Sunday, October 24th.
That is correct. That's happy news for tonight. And there's a lot of good and happy news for the rest of the show and the rest of the night. But let's start today with some tips of our segment about parenting and what are the things that we can do with our kids that are very, very helpful. And I call these touches are the magical touches. Of course, we cannot disregard the magic touch of the parent to the kid. So let's start with the merciful touch. What's the merciful touch? Is that put your hand behind your child's head. This touch is merciful. It's called merciful because the child feels that you are so passionate, you're so emotional, and while you touch your child's head from the back, you can say, like, mommy's gonna take care of you, you don't have to worry, these kind of phrases. The second touch is pride touch, is when you put your hand on top of your child's head, like, good job, you're doing an amazing job, I'm so proud of you. And there's a safe touch where maybe my child is lying down and I have my hand on their forehead like this, and I start saying that you're safe with mama, you're gonna be okay, everything's gonna be fine, I love you, those kind of phrases. And there's the miss you touch that I always use with my kids when I greet them back from school, where you put your both hands on their cheek, is like, I miss, it indicates like how much I miss this face all day, I miss seeing you all day while you were in school. Of course, these touches are so affecting and effective for your child. And there's the bond touch, which is holding hand. When I hold my child's hand, not only when we're crossing the street, no, maybe we're reading a book, watching a movie, and I just reach out and hold their hand. It creates an amazing bond, a friendship bond between me and my kids. And please, these touches, you can like have them all day long, use them. That's amazing. Like, it's really nice when your child hears nice things from you, nice phrases, assurement, but it's also amazing when we use our body, when we use the physical interaction with our kids, hugging, kissing, these touches. It's just
awesome.
Amazing vibes.
Just awesome, Russia. This is really informative and very important. And yes, it's true, like a pat on the shoulder of the kid or hugging them, it makes them feel safe, and they are so valuable for us. And I think the most important of all is that we have to teach our children that they are in control of their body. They decide who touches them and when.
That's true.
Yes, exactly. It has to be clear. Parents have to speak clearly to their kids about such a thing, because this is very, very, very important. And after, you know, all of this chit-chat at the beginning, I think it's the time for some music from our lovely band. What is it?
And we feel good.
Awesome, guys.
I'm so jealous. Good job, first
The
of all.
DWC.
Yes, the Diplomatic Women's Committee started its cultural exchange season in 2020-2021, and by welcoming the new women ambassadors.
True. Present were also spouses of the ambassadors and women diplomats at the Sado House in the presence of the honorary chairperson of the DWC, Sheikha Hala Badr Sabah, and also a group of ambassadors. And it was really a lovely night.
Yes, it was. So now let's check out this report in Beit Al Sado.
It's going to be a great one. Let's see it together.
Tonight we had the privilege of being invited to the Diplomatic Women's Committee for the DWC Cultural Exchange season that just kicked off. And we're so excited to be here and to talk to a bunch of people, including different ambassadors and spouses of ambassadors as well. So come inside with us and let's take a look.
Today, we are in DWC, our main that we gather together, and we know about everybody culture together also. But this time we start our season. We want to welcome the new excellencies, the ambassadors and the diplomatic women. When you leave your country, you need to be with social people. You need to be around happy people because you will miss your home. You have a homesick. So I think they feel the same thing. So we want to gather in social life, and also we let them know our culture. We want to let them feel that they are in a friendly society in their second home.
Well, I wouldn't say it's new to me to be part of the women's diplomatic community. Kuwait has the honor of having many women ambassadors serve here, and it's very exciting for us. We've been meeting around Kuwait. This is the first time we've been able to, I think, all come after or coming out of COVID to see each other face to face, so this will be a very exciting evening. For me, Sado House is a place I've been coming for many times that I visit Kuwait. It's a beautiful place to learn about Kuwait's culture. It's a beautiful place to learn about textiles and how Kuwait's culture is represented in beautiful motifs in weaving. So for me, it's a very special place and I love coming here.
I've got one more question for you. Since you were here during the COVID pandemic, what was your number one hobby that was just like a stress relief to you?
Well, one of the most important stress relievers is I took up needlepoint, which is very reminiscent of of the weaving here in Sado House. So I started learning how to needlepoint cushions, and then I really threw myself into exercise. So running, swimming, playing pickleball, all these things to keep yourself active and not just watching movies and doing your work.
So right now, I don't know, you could have probably made this.
I can guarantee you I didn't make this. This is made by a wonderful Kuwaiti woman who I'm sure put a lot of time and effort and made a beautiful pillow.
Like you say, sense of community, coming together as diplomatic women, acquainting ourselves with each other, making good friends, you know, visiting places, knowing personalities in the community. The activities are too much, sharing our cultural, traditional heritages in a friendly, social atmosphere. It's very nice.
The energy was absolutely electric tonight. We had a great time at this cultural exchange, and we look forward to more events opening up slowly as Kuwait slowly opens its doors to life again. Back to you in the studio.
It was a very nice report in the Sada House, and it's really like a wonderful event where those who are usually, in the embassy and work with a lot of political stuff usually, to have a getaway and a gathering with the essence of Arabian coffee. And also the bukhur, I'm sure it was there too, and it just seemed like a lovely night.
I just love Ben Salem when all the cultures unite to learn more about each other and they're enjoying that time. This is like one of my best gathering is when we all share our cultures and experience of each other's cultures and like mingle about it and share it and try the experience. I think it always brings us together more than anything else.
True, and learn more about the Kuwaiti culture or the Arab culture and the Kuwaiti society and so on. And now it's the time for the Trends and the Light News segment where we have so many interesting topics, to cover. We're going to go around the world and pick some news from here and there. For example, at the beginning, we're going to be in England, London, and love is in the bin. Shabi, love is in the bin. What does that mean to you?
I was too busy reading the book. So tell me.
Well, you know what love is and you know what bin is, right?
Exactly, yeah.
I
see it in my computer most of the time, but okay, remind me of it.
Rasha, do you want to give them some more idea maybe about it?
Love in the Bin is set, the art world is set in the art world and in the internet, of course. It was on fire because when it's sold for about 18.5
That was a few days ago. That was a few days ago. It's 25 million and a half now.
Oh my God.
The price is going up.
I don't know what it is about, actually.
I'll tell you.
You tell me.
I'll tell you. It's a work by Banksy, who is also very anonymous. He's not into the public. They don't know who or what his true identity is. Yeah. And he drew this painting, we can't really call it painting, but maybe, okay. He's usually into graffiti. Yeah. So he drew this little girl with the balloon, and when they sold it in the auction, once it was sold, and I think it was like, at the beginning, it was like 7-8 million only. When the price was settled, he had a hidden machine, a shredding machine, that shredded half of the painting. So the painting now is okay from the top, but shredded from the bottom, which made its price go up because this is the first time ever in any auction, an artwork is in process during the auction itself.
Okay. Yeah, I can see, actually, I saw
This is why love is in the bin.
I saw the report, but very optimistic. Love is in the bin. I hope it's not. But yeah, art is weird for me sometimes. And, it's different in every country and it's like, wait, 25 million?
25 million.
Wow.
And
so
a
someone
half,
paid 25 million and got half
shredded,
an artwork?
Half shredded from the bottom.
Painting.
What about the shredded part?
Well, it's still there hanging on
connected.
because remember, the top part is still there.
Okay,
Yes.
talk about hanging by a thread.
Exactly. Well, not really. Shredded machine. It's like the small papers when you go to a supermarket or somewhere and you see an ad about lost pet, whatever, and you see a lot of really small slips. It's the same thing.
Oh wow!
So this is part of the auction in South Bay in London, and from here, can you see the painting?
Oh yeah!
It's amazing. Look at it. Look at it from the bottom. This actually made it more expensive, as I said, because the first time ever an artwork, is sold during the auction,
progress of the
and it's
creating,
completed during the auction itself. So from Love in the Bin, we're gonna go to
A more weird.
Netflix. That's your game.
Weird.
Squid Game.
Yes, we're
Squid
talking
Game.
about Squid Game. It's the massive success that happened of the South Korean TV show. Some people watched it, some don't. Some don't want to because it's too depressing and it's too violent. I think.
Why? Just give it a chance. You never know.
I can't watch something that's too sad and violent and
It's about survival.
We are surviving. We were living in a pandemic. We're living in a pandemic. I don't need any more extra stress, but I respect that. I respect the work and everybody is talking about it. I'm sure it's good, but it's not my type. I can't take this kind of
If there's a
stress.
missing, person from the audience, another 12 million people watched it.
Yes.
And they're going to be working now on season 2.
I think that now it's officially the biggest growing show.
Yes.
It started
in the
last
history of
September,
Netflix.
and it's like, as you said, it's the most successful show that Netflix actually has featured in its platform.
And I actually also, for the first time ever, usually these kind of shows, you get a comment from people that this is a Stephen King kind of genre. For the first time ever, he responded. So they asked him, they was like, does this remind you of Running Man? He said Running Man and The Long Walk.
True. So the whole thing about it is that now there are a lot of memes, in Saudi Arabia and South Africa and the US just related to the show. And from here, we're going to move to Elon Musk, Mars Plan. Elon Musk, you know him, like he's the guy who does, the electric cars. Tesla. Exactly.
And he said that he might move to Mars.
He didn't say might, he said he will.
I think they should leave the universe alone. I mean, it's enough. They're working
There is a
here
lot of space. It's okay.
but you know what? Maybe we're going to move there later on, so please leave it.
He said in 40 years from now, and he hopes that he would be alive at that time, he will have factories of cars on Mars.
Look, as long as he's busy with Mars and he doesn't tweet about Bitcoin, everybody's happy.
I hope.
And from there, we're going to come back to Kuwait. And a piece of news that is really cool. It's related to Kuwait and Egypt. It's about Big Ramy.
Yes, Big
Have
Ramy.
you heard of Big Ramy?
Yeah, I
Not
played
Big
with him
Shahabi,
sometimes.
Big Ramy.
Yeah.
With Arnold Schwarzenegger and Mr. Olympia. This is his second time to win the title of, being the coolest, the biggest,
Yes.
whatever Muslim guy
Olympia.
in the world.
Mr. Olympia.
Mr.
He actually passed by me the gym a few years ago.
He lives in Kuwait.
He lives
came
in
to Kuwait when
Kuwait.
he was a teenager with his family.
I saw,
Mamdouh Al-Saba'i, his real name.
I saw an interview with him. He is a very grounded person.
He
And
is.
you know what's nice about him? That he's so influential. Like, he influenced everyone. He said, start anywhere. You can just, as long as you start. And don't let anyone put you down. He's a really good influence on the
He's
youth.
a great example of endurance and
Yes.
persisting. I mean, nobody thought that he's going to do this.
Yes.
I saw
For
him
the
maybe
second time,
For the
imagine.
second time.
This is really great. And he's, as you said, he's very modest guy. He's very down to earth. Like,
Yeah.
I know him personally, actually. I was with him on the first one in Ohio when he won the title also. And he's such a really nice guy, and he definitely deserves it because he puts a lot of effort and work in his training and so on. And the cool thing, as we said, he's part of this country and also part of Egypt because he's
Yeah, of
Egyptian.
course.
So congratulations to all the Egyptians and for us, the Kuwaitis.
Yes. We are
We
so
share
proud
the
of
same
him.
gym, but obviously he's doing much better than I am.
I can see that. You're working more in your, I don't know, belly maybe instead of your chest. So you need to.
You look good. You look good, Shahabi. Everyone looks
you.
good in their own way.
Now, the next one is very interesting. Who would actually imagine that the 3 dots, they're celebrating the 10th anniversary of the 3 dots? What does that mean?
This is a weird news, really. I've never
cool.
noticed. I've never noticed how long it was. Okay, let me explain the 3 dots.
Go ahead.
The 3 dots is when you open your WhatsApp or even your iMessage. You see when someone is typing, you see the 3 dots.
That
So-
they are in the process of typing.
Yes, that means that the person in front of you, the recipient, is typing something, and they are celebrating this.
It's the typing awareness indication.
They're
This is very
celebrating
important.
the 3 dots, and nobody celebrates my birthday, but they celebrate the 3 dots.
But you know what, Shabi, actually it's kind of annoying because sometimes when you write something to someone and then you see the 3 dots, which means they are actually trying to
Yeah, you're
reply to
expecting
you.
a reply, yeah.
And then suddenly it just disappears and you don't get anything. And then you wonder what happened. Are they like
Are they
ignoring me?
lost? Are they lost in the internet?
Especially if it's a wife.
I was gonna say so.
Yeah.
You know, there will be like 1-page reply.
Yes.
And then, all of this disappears and it's
Yes,
okay.
because
Okay.
it's always the wife that's making the trouble. Actually, we answer back. You guys, 3 dots for 1 hour, and the message is okay.
We're minimalist.
We're minimalist.
We're minimalist.
and very annoying.
Let's go back to Mars, by the way, and the space, because I'm sure all of you've seen Star Trek, and the actor William Shatner, he became the oldest person to travel to out of Earth to the space, and he's 90 years old in 200 and few days, by the way.
Yani, I think William Shatner has done everything. Everything. He did everything. He had his own
He was really
show.
cool.
He had a detective
He's
show,
Canadian,
I
by the
think,
way.
and he did a lot
Captain
of
Kirk.
things. Yes, I think he just follows his dreams no matter
So
what.
90 years and you're out of space. This is a retirement goal.
And he's been doing, the acting career for 60 years, and the Star Trek, I mean, he was the lead with what's his name, the other guy with the ears.
I don't
Spock,
know.
Captain Spock.
Do you know
Captain
that I
Spock.
never watched Star Trek?
Oh, you didn't?
No.
I used to as a kid. I don't watch the. Yes,
Am
exactly.
I that
Wait.
boring? Like, I don't watch Squid Game. I don't watch.
Okay, one more piece for news before we wrap up. Alec Baldwin. Have you heard about
Well,
what
yeah, what
happened
happened?
yesterday?
Oh my God, this is like,
He
it's so
shot,
sad.
he shot one of the crew in spot and he killed her for real.
Yeah, and but to be to be fair, he was acting. It was a scene. It was part of a scene.
It was acting.
Someone gave him a loaded gun.
It wasn't
I
a
don't know.
loaded gun. It wasn't. Like they're still actually under.
They're still investigating. I
Yes.
don't know.
Yeah,
Someone
but-
is really hurt and someone is dead, and that's
It's called
so
a prop
sad.
gun.
A prop gun. But as you know, in the regulations in the States, especially in California, during a shooting of a movie, there is 2 specialists to check on any prep gun. So they have to check and they confirm verbally and the actor as well. Nobody can do this mistake.
Do you
Something
think something's
gravely
fishy?
wrong.
Something's fishy.
Something's very fishy in this, yes.
Well, unfortunately, I mean, someone died. The cinematographer,
Yes.
she died, and
Yeah.
he also injured the director. But
I'm
well,
sure he's devastated, and the rest of the
yeah.
crew.
Maybe next week we can give you more
Yes.
update about what happens because it's still in the progress. It just happened yesterday. Okay, so here we end up our the light news and the trending
around the
news around the world.
universe news, actually, because we did go to Mars.
We did go to Mars. So we're going to take a break because we're going to have our first guest that is very interesting. So let's just take a break and we will know exactly who is going to be with us tonight. Okay, so we're going to go to Ukraine. Ukraine is a country in Eastern Europe. It's the second largest maybe country in Europe after Russia. And it's actually a perfect place for travelers who love new experiences.
When you visit Ukraine, your journey is full of unusual and intriguing adventures. And of course, there's a lot of great, like amazing destinations you can go. And there's the diverse in the cuisine and the rich, rich, rich culture.
And tonight, we'd like to welcome His Excellency Dr. Oleksandr Balanutsa, the ambassador of Ukraine to the state of Kuwait. Welcome, Your Excellency.
Good evening. Thank you so much.
Привет.
Доброго дня. Привіт.
Okay, great. And as we usually do when we have the ambassadors, we are very informal. So how shall we address you? We're not going to say Your
As you wish.
Excellency.
Alexander X. Alex is fine.
Alex is fine? Okay, so Russian Ben and Alex.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you
First,
here.
I just want to say that I love what you're wearing. And
Thank you, ma'am.
I assume it's cultural,
beautiful.
right?
It's really cultural. It is called vyshivanka from the verb vyshivati, to embroider. And that goes back to the even earlier times of the Kievan Rus, 2,000 years ago, that our territory was famous with embroidering and decorating the dresses. It's something very special.
It's beautiful. I really like the design. I like this kind of
Thank you so much, ma'am.
This I
That's
have to wear, but
a very
maybe
unique
next
thing.
time. It's very unique and beautiful, and maybe later on you could write the name of it so I can buy it online. I'm sure I can't find it.
It is definitely, there are some women dresses and some
Yes.
men also dressing also, but that specific thing is because we have the national emblem and the national trident and the colors of the flag. So
It's so
very,
beautiful.
very
Awesome. We definitely like to know more about Ukraine from you, Alex. But let's just learn more about Ukraine through this report, and then we're going to have our chit-chat with Mr. Ambassador.
Ukraine is a destination on the crossroads between Central and Eastern Europe, between the North and the South. As the largest country in Europe, Ukraine offers many attractions for tourists, including festivals celebrating its rich culture and a handsome selection of century-old architecture. From the rolling countryside to the cobblestone streets of old city centers, Ukraine's people are just as diverse as its landscape, and they are some of the most hospitable people in Europe. Kiev, the capital of Ukraine and the country's largest city, has a history that has resulted in a fascinating mix of architectural styles, creating a city center skyline that is unique.
So, Alex, we say it's Alex.
Absolutely.
So, Alex, good deeds start with you. What does that mean? If you would remember.
You had it on your page. Good deeds start with you. Like,
It starts, it's, maybe we'll reformulate the question.
okay.
Try to say it another way. Give another question. Give me another try.
Okay. What are the good deeds that started with you?
And you start with a smile. That's something which that people never think about this.
I didn't
But
think
when
about
you-
it. Interesting.
Well,
True.
that's something which we have to truly believe it. Why? You open up a conversation, but not asking a question. You make a smile. You make a person be comfortable to talk to you. When we open up a smile and we say, "I'm ready. I'm interacting," and that's what diplomacy does. It opens with a smile to start any resolution that needs to be settled. So I'm open always with a smile, saying, "What can I do for you?" That's something as
Very
a good
simple.
deed is that when you really open up your heart, you open up your smile, and probably when you need to do something good, you will probably your example of anything you do. You have to
Yes.
be an example of something.
That's good.
And I think here in the state of Kuwait, we really care about such a thing, especially like talking about the Chernobyl tragedy, which is like the worst man-made catastrophe actually. And Kuwait, I know that have been trying to help in the emerge of Chernobyl confinement. And so what does that mean to Ukraine? Because we know like Chernobyl, the whole thing happened in Ukraine.
Well, guys, it was probably the largest tragedy that we could face. The unfortunate thing was that no one was informed about this. It happened in 26th of April, 1986, and for 1 week, none of the country, none of the news, none of the papers never mentioned that this something happened. And usually we used to have on the 1st of May, there are some demonstrations, some normal peaceful demonstrations, and thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people were in the streets, were exhaling and breathing with all this radiation, and we never know.
It was a big
so
tragedy.
this was the the decision that actually made people to be killed and tortured. And of course, after that became aware, all the servicemen, the firemen, the police officers, everybody who could help, they ran to Chernobyl with definitely at the risk of their lives, and they tried to close down those reactors to make sure that the radiation will not hit the water. Should it hit the water reservoir, it will definitely be an absolutely different
But
tragedy to the largest
we're glad after a few decades that the whole thing is going to be part of the past and history, and like the whole thing is going to come to life
And
again.
our condolences to everyone
Thank you so
that
much.
lost.
But I would like to wrap up with this one is that right now the Chernobyl zone became a touristic zone.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's absolutely safe. Now we have
is.
the governmental touristic agency that are proving that and they're showing and offering the touristic attractions to Chernobyl, which is absolutely very safe.
Mm-hmm.
And to mention the help of Kuwait is that Kuwait really indeed helped us. It had a very huge donation to actually have the shelter of this new reactor, which I cannot.
That's the least we can do to
be
support.
more thankful for this.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
I just, our condolences and our hearts go all to the families that has suffered. Moving a little bit back to Kuwait, let's say. Last week you held language classes in the embassy, as I recall.
Correct.
For children.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes.
What was that about?
We actually started it 4 years ago as the Ukrainian school within the embassy, so that we can give some classes, definitely free of charge, for those Ukrainians who live here, that we teach them Ukrainian language, Ukrainian culture, Ukrainian history. We go with some diplomacy reasons for them, but because of this 2-year COVID frozen activity, we could not violate the rule and we didn't allow anyone to come. So this last week was the first time that we actually gathered again, assembled. We had up to 20 kids who risked to came. We have 3 classes by ages. And that's how we start, usually every Friday.
And that's another indication for going back to normal life with COVID. And since we're talking about language, and I want to ask more questions about this, we have this report where Yusuf actually went and spoke to some people about language. So let's watch it together, and then we can comment about it with Alex.
Tonight, we're asking people about languages. So my first question is, what's one language you would like to learn and why?
Spanish, because I love Spain and Spanish football team.
Okay, which Spanish football team do you like?
Spanish, Real Madrid. Of course, Real Madrid.
Okay, so my second question for you is actually, if humans have the ability to learn 7 languages, do they?
Okay, yes, they can, because in my country itself there are 29 states, and all the 29 states has got 29 different languages.
So my first question for you today is, what's one language you wish you could learn?
I want to learn Malayali.
I've never heard of that language before.
Lot of Malayali here.
Okay, the second question I'm going to ask you today is, do humans have the ability to learn 7 languages?
Yeah, I can speak in English, Arabic, Urdu, Hindi, Punjabi. Already 5 languages I can speak in.
What's one language you would like to learn and why?
Yeah, I want to learn to Tagalog, Philippines.
Why?
Because our Tagalog people is very loving, caring. I like it.
Do humans have the ability to learn 7 languages?
Yeah, must. I know 7 languages. I know more than 8 languages. Yeah, Pakistanis, Indians, Russian, Persians, Arabic, and this Balti, Tibet, and Sankrat, and Nepal. That's it.
I'd like to learn French language. Yeah. Why? Because first of all, I love French as a tradition and everything, and as I love football, and my favorite team in football, Paris Saint-Germain. It's a French team, so for that reason, I'd like to learn French language. Yes, of course, yeah, we can. It's not impossible, yeah. Sure, it's easy. Yeah, I know some of my friends, they know like maybe 4 languages. Chinese, China, Russian, yeah, it's easy. If you want, you can do it.
We tried to take this shot a lot of times, but there were some cars honking in the background. We asked people about languages, and everybody wants to learn something different. Back to you in the studio.
And speaking about the languages, we know like ambassadors, usually they speak definitely more than 1 language. And Alex, or the ambassador of Ukraine, Kuwait, I'm sure you speak more than 1 language. Now, I know at least you speak Arabic. So how many languages do you speak first?
Well, my 2 bilingual nature, we have 2 languages, which is Ukrainian, native, and Russian, 2 languages simultaneously. And then I do speak Spanish, and I do practice my Arabic.
And English for sure?
Yes.
You're not practicing your Arabic. I know you're very fluent.
I would not dare to say it, but معرفتي اللغة العربية تعبان ليست كافية.
مو تعبانة بالعكس ممتازة.
أتكلم بهذا اللغة احتراما لهذا البلد.
أنت رائع في الكلام في اللغة العربية.
مشكور مشكور، وأنا أدرس كل يوم، أنا أسمع الأخبار، أنا أكتب كل شيء، يعني دبلوماسيون من سفارة يصيدون كل يوم.
ما شاء الله ما شاء الله. Excellent.
That's amazing. I know English.
It's perfect. It's perfect. Why? Because English is a smile. You know, with English you can open up a conversation. But to be honest, when I arrived in Kuwait, I really couldn't speak Arabic. So
بس الحين تمام.
that's the practice with, you know, with my heart. That's the passion that I want to have.
Yes, mashallah, mashallah عليك.
Speaking of languages and different cultures, I'm in love with different cultures. I love to learn a lot. Like even when I travel, I visit the authentic places more than anything else. And I really love to know about Ukrainian culture. I would like if you can tell me one thing very special about the Ukrainian culture that not a lot of people know about. Something special.
You should probably devote the whole program for me, so I can explain and brand about this one word. But honestly, it's hospitality. I would put it this way: hospitality that will open up everything for you. Different countries would have different cuisine. Different countries will have different traditions. Every country has a specific place. But the way the Ukrainians can show and demonstrate the hospitality, you will not find anywhere in the world. That's for sure. One word that I give to you, hospitality.
So do we have a direct flight from Kuwait to Ukraine?
I'm working on it, sir. For the last year and a half, we've been working closely with Jazeera Airways to actually launch the direct flight from Kuwait. And we had already a go for last July, but again, something because of these COVID restrictions, we postponed it. So we're expecting it the second quarter of the next year, probably April, to have 2 direct flights. Kuwait, Kiev, the capital, and Kuwait, Odessa, which is the Black Sea resort.
Great, great. I heard you can do a lot of things in Ukraine since you spoke about a special thing about Ukraine, like you can do unusual activities like bungee jumping, mountain climbing.
4 seasons per year. So all 4 seasons, we absolutely have something starting for skiing in probably November till February. Skiing, skating, tank riding, I don't know, jumping for sure. So all the variety of things that Ukraine can offer was definitely some very nice, decent pricing, and definitely with hospitality.
Amazing.
And with a smile.
Mention the food.
The food. I'm going to talk about the food, but I just thought about something. Since in every show we talk about something, a successful story, or I was wondering. Let's say I want to take you as an influential figure. What is the one thing you were not good at maybe when you were young, but now you are great at, and you want to send that message to people that even though you thought you can't do it, but you did it? What is the one thing that you're not really good at and you thought it would never happen or you would never succeed in?
Very honestly, with all my heart,
What is it?
I didn't think that I could do English.
Oh my God, you speak excellent English.
It was school time, and it was some time that, believe me, I was asking my friends to help me read in the textbook what I have to say, what I have to answer. And they were helping me to do this. And it was a very strange thing, since I was starting learning English, and it was okay. But for one period of time, I really, you know, it was a black time for me, schooling-wise. I didn't have too much appetite for studying at that time. So I didn't eat much school. So English, it was really desperate. I was fighting so much. And then I actually, you know, decided that I can do it. It was just a conversation between me and my parents that they said, "Can you do it?" And I said, "I will." And so I did, and then I entered the actual faculty of foreign languages.
Wow.
And those who remembered me from school, they said, "How do you do it? You didn't. You couldn't." It's just a matter of the desire. You have to have
spoke again about the appetite in food. So tell us about the gastro-tourism, because I know Ukraine has a lot of great food, especially like you also bring, I know Kuwait gets caviar from Ukraine too to Kuwait. Can you tell us about the food tourism?
Of course, for the tourism, now we would probably be open for all kind of tastes, for all delicious things. Somebody might be limited by meat, and we do definitely have something to offer even with the lamb. We know that we have a Muslim ethnic group, the Crimea Tatars, that are doing amazing lamb, really meat things, which everybody who comes to Ukraine, they say we never expect this to have perfect lamb in Ukraine. We can do some of the cakes, which I'm really fond of because I'm a sweet tooth. And I do.
Oh, same here.
Oh my God. I come home, if I come home for vacation, every single day I'm there, it's a new cake.
My God, we're going to be good friends.
We are already.
What's the best cake?
This Mama's cake. You know, you don't have a name. It's Mama's cake. Mama cake does, you know, 10 days I'm there, 10 days different cakes. It's Mama cakes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 cakes. Unbelievable. But definitely we can start with meat to different kinds of juices, which are self-made. Produced from the Ukrainian products, plus this bakery.
What's your favorite dish?
Mama cake.
Mama cake?
Mama cake. Yeah, cake. I can cook myself, but mama cake, something that
You can't, yeah.
Okay, let's talk about sports. Lubinsky was one of the great coaches in the history of soccer in Kuwait, or football, during the 90s, like I think 1993,
94,
1994.
96.
Exactly, and he was amazing. I mean, people still remember him, and I think you're in the process of like doing something to honor his name.
It's really a big project, which when I came, I mean, I knew he was working here, but then no one actually, gives his name that respect, which I really wanted him to. And he was one of the Ukrainians who was here. Not many Ukrainians really delivered something to Ukraine. He was here in 1996. Valery Lobanovsky, the national coach of Ukraine, he served in UAE and he served in Kuwait for 3 years. He raised the level of the football in Kuwait and he made it an upscale level. So I was very successful and I was blessed to find the football players who worked with Valery Lobanovsky and his team. There is Mr. Wael Suleiman, the captain of the national team of Kuwait, who was playing under Lobanovsky. We found 24 football players, the assistants and coaches. And now we're putting together a memoir book that will help people in Kuwait understand in Arabic all those memoir and things about Lobanovsky. The coaches, the assistants, the football players. It'll be amazing. I hope we'll within a couple of months, we'll make sure that we'll finalize this.
He's actually considered top 50 managers of soccer on the whole world, so he was a great, he was a legend.
A new strategy of preparing the football players, and this goes even to Real Madrid and Barcelona, that they never played the techniques that he offered in regards of the physical training, in regards of the things. You know, he has a wonderful joke to say.
What
he
is
says,
it?
Soccer is not chess. Soccer needs intellectual things.
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, he was playing. We do understand that chess players, they do need to have a very nice brain. So he was even playing with this, that soccer is not chess because it needs brain.
So it's
soccer
like
is very
higher
intellectual
level.
game.
That means it's a higher
so
level.
when he offered that thing even in preparation, in preparing the football players.
Amazing, amazing.
That's amazing. Of course, I don't understand anything about football, so I'm just saying. But I know that he was coaching the national team of Kuwait.
Exactly.
I know that.
1994 till 1996.
Yes, I know that very well. But moving to things that I know more about, music, fiesta. What is the best music you like, or the band, or song?
Okay, if we talk about something listening, not dancing, then it would be probably something which, Louis Armstrong, Frank Sinatra.
Fly Me to the Moon.
Yes,
or
I
New
do
York.
like saxophone music playing as itself. But when it comes to dancing, or at least when I want to, make myself pump up, that will be Despacito.
Despacito!
Very, very active, something that you cannot stop. You watch it, you listen, and you speak Spanish, you understand, and you want to do it. It's something really cool.
Well, I mean, you are a great guest, so we'd like to dedicate this upcoming song for you. Because you're lovely, actually, a guest, as we said, and you gave us a lot of information about Ukraine. Thank you for being really great. Dyakuyu, is that the way you say thank you?
Dyakuyu.
Okay, dyakuyu.
Dyakuyu.
I got
Thank
it.
you so much.
Thank you. It was a pleasure having you. You light the room with your smile and
It's not because
your
of me,
vibe.
ma'am. It's because of you, the host, and a wonderful band.
Yes, thank you so much. It was lovely having
Thank
you.
you so
And
much.
this is from us and the band to you.
Despacito.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bravo, bravo. Dziękuję, guys. Dziękuję. Dziękuję. I guess I'm sorry.
أفضل.
Povai, Your Excellency. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot
Thank
for
you
being
so
with
much.
us
It was a
again.
pleasure. Thank you so much.
We still have more to come. We have another interesting guest for us tonight. But before that, Shabi is going to join us as I got so excited with the music. And I know, Rasha, you love the music too.
Yes, I love
So
music.
we're going to play something, name that tune, maybe upcoming one, just after short break. Thank you. We're back in here, and as we said, we're going to have our second guest in minutes, but before that, we thought we're going to add a new segment for tonight. The band really plays really nice music, and they're going to play some tones maybe of popular songs, and whether English or Arabic, and you told me
It's
you're
not a segment, it's war.
Yes,
I'm so
with,
dramatic.
with having Shabi with
I'm
us
so
too.
dramatic. And I'm gonna lose, I know.
So, guys, as we agreed, before we go on air, you're gonna play like a piece of a song, maybe, and one of us is gonna try to guess it before the others, and then we're gonna count, the points. What is the first thing you have? Go ahead.
I'm nervous.
I Will Survive. It's called I Will
I said
Survive.
it first.
Russia,
I
Russia.
said it, I'm sorry.
Wait, it's called I Will Survive.
But I sang it.
And who's the singer? Who's the singer?
No,
Gloria Gaynor.
no. You
Who
said
wins?
the song.
Which year?
Shabi, who wins?
I would
I
go
said
with
it
Ben.
first. What? Who
Because
who
you
won?
did not name it. You
Okay,
sang
You
it.
did
By
not.
the way, you're playing with us. You're not the judge. They're the judges.
I have a chair.
Okay,
So that makes
so
me an excellent judge.
That's 1
Okay,
point
fine.
for Ben.
Wait, excuse me, the judges.
Judges. It's called I Will Survive officially. It's not called, what did you say?
First, I was afraid.
Yes, that's the first line of the song.
Come on.
Fine.
You're gonna win
Okay,
anyway.
Okay, you're gonna be biased and you're gonna vote for Russia. It's okay. I don't mind.
a draw. We will not count this one.
Okay,
Okay.
that's fine. Give us another
Yeah,
one.
another
All
one.
right.
Shabi, you're part of it.
Okay.
Hold on.
That's hard. Can you play it, guys?
Huh?
What is it?
Would you die if I asked you to die? Would you, right?
No.
Wala.
You are right,
help
but
us.
Enrique Iglesias.
It's Enrique, yes.
Yes, would you die if I asked you to die? It's my point, sorry.
Okay, 1 point
Okay.
officially for Russia.
One.
The first one was not counted. That was Enrique Iglesias.
Yes,
Okay,
Enrique.
we have 2 more, so play something else.
Okay. What else? Okay.
Arabic,
Try.
maybe, guys? No? I'm trying to cheat. Billie Jean! Michael Jackson! I said it! Michael Jackson, Billie Jean! Billie Jean for Michael Jackson. Shabi, you're 0. What are you doing there in the corner?
I'm enjoying it. I don't want to cut it.
One more.
All right,
2
one
point,
more.
1 point for Russia,
No,
1 point
2
for me.
points
How
for
many?
me.
The first one is not counted.
Okay.
And 0 for Shabi. One more.
Okay, how
The last
many?
one.
Something easier. What?
Rocky! Rocky!
The eye of the tiger!
Eye of the tiger!
No, I said it.
Isn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
I said eye of the tiger.
I said Rocky.
You took my point because you said I didn't say the song, the name.
Okay, you know what? That's fine. Ladies are always right, even if they're not.
Exactly. Be smart.
2 points for Russia, 1 point for me, 0 for Shabi. Shabi, you have.
Shabi, you won.
Shabi, you have the whole week for next time to
To
go
prep.
over all the
You see,
charts.
I don't want a name because I want them to play. I want to enjoy it.
Yeah.
That's my excuse.
Okay, well, thank you guys. Try to come up with maybe harder ones next time, so she doesn't win.
Okay.
Because she said I'm not really good with that, and I thought like she's gonna lose, but she's the one who won. Okay, coming up next
So
is
wait,
another.
excuse me.
2-1-0.
Coffee is on you next week.
Coffee's in me.
Yeah, this is the
definitely.
deal.
Coffee's in me every week, by the way, even
Coffee
before
and
that.
dessert.
And dessert. Okay. Cake. Mama's
cake.
Mama's cake.
So our next guest is really interesting. He's done so many things.
Yes.
And he's such a character. We're going to have him right after the break, and we'll tell you more about him as he joins us in the studio here on the stage. Stay tuned. Welcome back, and guys, you know, we all go through like phases where sometimes we feel down or like we're going through the same routine. And we'd like to go in some adventure somewhere around the world, like just to try something new and get out of the daily routine, Russia.
Some people talk about it, but some people actually do it. And today we're going to have a guest that actually did a lot of things that
Adventurous
yes,
guy.
a lot of adventure. A lot of adventures. And we have here the entrepreneur, classic of cars and motorbikes, enthusiast, Mr. Manaf Al-Awadi. You're welcome. We're so happy to have you here tonight.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Well, we're so glad that you're joining us tonight. We had great fun with the Ukrainian ambassador, and I'm sure we're gonna even have a lot of fun with you, especially like you're a guy of many, I don't know, what do you call it, talents. Many adventures.
Passions.
Exactly. So the road to success is always under construction.
Always under construction.
What does that mean? Tell me. Because I saw it in your Facebook page.
Yeah, well, anything you, any hobby, any project in life you start working on, there's always an upgrade to anything you want to do in life. In my perspective, when it comes to arts, I started everything through the arts. I started with music as I was a kid. Music took me or opened my mind to do plenty of other things, or people might call them hobbies. And I always like to perfect every hobby I jump on, basically, whether it's a mechanical hobby or an artistic hobby. So re-innovating, pushing yourself always to do better
And never stop.
And never stop. That's why
under construction.
Under construction forever.
So you said you started as a kid,
Yes.
like in the let's say the world of art, any different kinds of art. And I know as kids, sometimes parents push their kids away from art to more serious, as they say, serious studies and things that will take you to places. And what, was that an issue in your childhood, or they were they were supportive?
Well, first of all, thank God I have mom and dad in my life, because they were always supportive.
That's nice.
Mom, not so much when it came to music, because the time I was gonna practice, it's either her sleeping time or her prayer time. So, but they were always understanding, and they always kept me, you know, on the edge, basically, in everything. That got me doing what I do almost in every way you look at it, because
Shaped your character.
Yes, because as a kid, when I started to draw, you know, he's also an artist, so I go to Dad and I tell him, Dad, can you draw me this? And he always gave me the same answer back, which is do it yourself. You have fingers, you have the tools, do it yourself. So I was a mad kid when it came to drawing, but everything I wanted him to draw to me when I was a kid, I drew, and I always made sure it's up in his face. Look, I did it.
I did it.
You
And
know?
he wanted you to do it.
Of course, of
but
course.
you did not realize that till
Of
later
course, as
on.
a kid, you know,
Yes.
you're always anger, but him raising me up, he always made me channel up my anger and put it into creativity.
Well, obviously you came up to like a really good place in this stage of your life. So what is it about the shaka thing? I mean, you always do that when you take pictures.
Yes.
What does that mean?
It's
called the shaka now.
Yes, it's a cool way of
hanging
you know,
loose?
hanging loose, or showing the surrounding area that I'm happy to be here, basically.
Nice,
you know?
nice. That's so sweet. It comes from Hawaii, by the way.
Yes.
And it means like, okay, things are cool.
Yes.
Nothing to worry. Hakuna Matata, maybe,
Hakuna
like nothing to
Matata,
worry
yeah.
about, and
Yeah,
so
yeah,
on.
yeah.
Okay, so your beard.
My beard.
Yes, I like your beard.
Yeah.
Like, these days, it just became like a fashion for the guys. I obviously have one, but yours is way longer. Does it did you, is this part of your adventure? And did it take a lot of time for you to grow it that much? And I know these days they take a lot of care of beards.
Yeah, well, to me, it's, I just basically don't have time to look good. You know,
You look great.
You look good with it.
I just let it be, you know, and surprisingly, you know, it works perfectly with most of the things I do. You know, I like bikes. I like building bikes. I like, you know, I like the automotive industry. Basically, is part of my life. So, and Manaf is known for this, you know.
Mashallah, like.
Yeah, if I take it off, people will walk by me
They
without
won't recognize
noticing,
you.
you know. Yeah.
I vote for the beard. Keep it. Well, I usually ask our guests sometimes if they're into animals or they have pets,
Yes.
but your story is different.
I love pets. I'm a dog person. A dog person only for a reason, because sometimes when you call the cats, they are
ignore
not
you.
there, you know.
They have attitude.
Yeah, we all have attitudes, you know. But yes, I have horses as well. you know.
Horses?
Tell us about the horses breeding that you're actually working at.
Yeah, I have a horse, Arabian horse stud. I'm into breeding.
You're making a lot of money then.
Well, a horse costs a lot of money
Yeah.
per month, and especially if you have over 77 horses,
Wow.
and they keep bringing babies. So, and each horse has a separate cost, especially if it's a sick horse, you know. They all cost a lot of money and a lot of attention. I don't pay too much attention about my health, but I'm always, you know, tiptoes when it comes to
The horses.
the horses.
You
We
have
have
to
to
take care of
visit.
them.
Yeah.
You have to visit.
We will.
Please,
Definitely.
please.
Really, my kids
you
would
would
love
enjoy
the
it. You would
horses,
enjoy it. I
yeah.
have babies and I have.
Wow, and do they really understand? Like when I see a movie about horses,
You communicate
They
with them.
communicate. Is it really?
They do communicate. You know, if they for the best thing about them is the appreciation. You know, when they see me,
they adore you.
They adore, you know, because you feed them.
I've seen that.
Even if they are in pain and you are causing more pain to fix their pain, they understand, you know.
Manaf, maybe I mentioned your beard. I can't really help it also not to mention, like, I think you're a really cool guy. And I can see your size. Is that what they call you, Big Daddy? Because I know you go by Big Daddy, like a nickname.
Well, Big Daddy started way back when I used to be a student in the States.
Oh.
Yeah, Big
Is that
Daddy.
in Arizona?
Arizona, yeah,
Okay.
it was in Phoenix, Arizona.
Phoenix, Arizona.
A lot of people used to call me Big Daddy, and Big
you're
Daddy
so caring, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. And Big Daddy Wear used to sponsor me with T-shirts, so that's why everybody started to name me Big Daddy. And believe me, Ben, 3-4 years ago, I said, you know, I want to change the look of Manaf, and I dropped from I was 223
I remember you lost
kilos.
some weight for some time.
I took myself all the way down to 128 kilos.
Wow.
To be honest, I really didn't like it because, again,
it became a different Manaf.
It took away the identity of Manaf, you know. Since I was a kid, I was known for being big all my life, you know. I was the biggest of all the kids around. So
that's amazing. You know, it's just you know yourself like this, and this is how you like yourself, and that's what
people
matters.
like
I'm comfortable.
Yeah,
I'm comfortable in my
that's
skin.
That's the most
you know?
important thing, actually.
Yeah.
So the Ukrainian ambassador said he likes food, especially dessert, and he has big sweet tooth, and I do too. Do you?
Sweets?
Yes.
Oh, I love sweets.
Oh my God.
I love sweets.
I know you're a very good chef too.
Yes, I cook. And
so now you're going to take us to your horses, and you're going to cook for us.
Sure.
He's not going to cook the horses, though.
No.
No way.
No. Tell us about this part.
Even when I started doing the diet, I chose to do it in the wrong country. I did it in Italy.
Como?
And, yes.
Okay.
And,
Carbs.
All the sweets around me, it was hectic. You know, all the cannolis and all the different parts of each part of the country. They specialized in many dishes. You know.
Yeah.
And
you learned to cook, right?
Yes, of course.
You were torturing yourself.
It was
like no
an amazing
carbs,
adventure
no
actually to you know, push myself to go the opposite way, go dine with the friends at certain places that I love their food, but I'm, you know, I only have limited choices to eat.
Okay.
That changed a lot of
cool
things in me, you know.
So if you invite us, sorry, I'm thinking about the food I want to eat. So
I know you like food.
I want to know what I'm going to eat. So I want to know what I'm going to eat if you invite us. What's like the best dish you do?
What is your best
signature
Well,
dish?
it depends if you are guys,
We're into
if
everything.
you do meat or chicken.
We're into everything.
Into everything.
Everything.
I would have to say seafood.
Seafood is nice. I like shrimp.
I would
love
have
it.
to say.
Well, you know what? I think, Resha, maybe in one of like upcoming episodes, you should just come to us as a chef only.
Sure, why not?
And then you're gonna demonstrate this.
You have a.
We will get you something. Don't worry.
Cool.
Okay. Again, I can't help like the look. You look like a biker. Do you?
I am
do you
a
ride
biker.
bikes?
I'm a biker by blood. You can say it. You know, a lot of people are. They take it as a hobby or a seasonal thing. To me, life belongs on two wheels, basically. Yes, I am a classic car person, but bikes, you know, I feel sad if I don't ride my bike.
And you're part of a team in Kuwait here, right?
I'm part of teams everywhere,
desert.
basically. Yes,
The Desert
everywhere.
Saints,
yes,
maybe?
Yes. Bikes, I started biking when I first did my first project. Basically, big man, big daddy.
When you say project, like as business, you mean?
No, project as building something.
Okay.
You know, because I'm a big guy, usually I custom tailor everything.
That includes the bikes.
That includes
the
whatever
motorbikes.
I ride, you know,
Okay.
motorcycles, cars, you know.
Nice.
So that started, that gave me the push I wanted.
So creative.
And from it, the creativity that came with it, the custom fabrications, and all of a sudden, you know, I lifted up my head and I saw myself, you know, I'm international known because of my fabrications, basically.
You are, mashallah.
That is, yeah. And does anybody ask you like to do their cars or their
Of course.
motorcycles?
Of course.
Ah, so you got
But
business
nowadays I'm more selective than
yeah,
what
you
I
don't have
used to.
time.
But you have your show also of cars.
Yes.
That's
yes,
really
yes,
interesting.
yeah.
Tell us the Torque.
Torque.
Yeah, tell us about it. You're a producer, a
Yes.
filmmaker, and you do all of these things together with through showing us the beautiful cars that you ride, and you tell us more about that.
Yes, Torque started as a hobby. To me, people look at it and say, "How do you do these things? Where do you go? And you know, how do you come up with these ideas?" As I tell them, you know, it's back to art. Television is a very interesting game to me. It's a formula, you know. Any successful thing in life, it's basically a formula you have to perfect, and as soon as you get it together, it will win, basically. So, basically, the program is running cameras after Manaf, wherever I go. And I started, when I took it international, that was the highlight of the show, because most of the international makers, the brand names, are friends of mine. So I basically call them and go to their factories, and the cameras are there, and we start to film, and Torque became international.
One of the really lovely shows that I actually make sure that I watch every episode of it.
You're a very busy man. I mean, raising horses, cooking, having your own
motorbikes,
show,
cars,
and
producer.
you love traveling.
Yes, traveling makes me at ease with myself. You know, I can't stay in one place for a long period of time. That's why I have to keep myself always busy. Well, of course, when Corona struck last
became more
year,
difficult.
it became more difficult, but I focused on my breeding program with horses.
Yeah.
And I spent most of the time south of the country, just in the stud.
Holland, Germany.
Yeah. What are the best countries?
Anywhere you think about.
Saudi Arabia.
All of them, all of them.
What's your favorite
my favorite
country to visit?
Wow. My ultimate favorite is Italy.
Italy, como?
Yes.
Well, we
Italy
know,
in general.
Well, we know like celebrities, a lot of celebrities like George Clooney, Madonna, and so on. They
Yeah.
have houses in Como.
Me, I have a house.
Do you have? I was going to ask
Yes,
him.
yes,
I
yes.
didn't know you have a house
I'm
there.
lying.
Yeah,
I just want to be.
Do you have a house
Yes,
there?
yes.
You do have a house in?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
so
Oh my
now
God! Now
we're
our next summer.
invited- now we're invited to see your horses and food and to Italy.
Oh, Italy,
Yeah, a
you
lot
would
of
love it.
invitations.
You would love it. Why I chose Italy?
What's special about Italy? Why?
Everything. Because if you look at it from
It's real.
my show perspective, I love history.
You're filming your show there too, right?
I film in Italy as well.
Yeah, beautiful scenery.
Of course,
Yes.
of course. It's different to the eye. It's eye candy for people
It is.
who watch, basically.
It is.
Why Italy? Because the history is there,
Yeah.
the food is there, the clothing, the fashion. you
And
name
Manaf
it.
is there.
And Manaf is there.
You like its vibe.
Automotive industry, whether is motorcycles or cars, you're talking about a huge number of manufacturers are there. So whenever I have nothing to do, I just cruise on my bike and go visit manufacturers, basically.
So Russia, Messi, Versace, Cristiano Ronaldo, all of them, they have houses there, and Manaf
And
too.
Manaf, which is going to invite us.
Hopefully you're going to end up
I'm
having
gonna
a house
have,
there
Hopefully.
with some horses in the farm of the house.
Oh,
I
I
haven't
would love
been.
that.
I haven't been to Italy. I've been to Spain, and I really want to go to Italy. But they told me that Italy is so, like as you said, it has a very strong vibe, very heavy, with all its history and the streets.
Of course.
and-
To me, I'm
I've
sorry
never
to
had
say
it.
that, but to me, Spain is overrated. You know,
Italy is the one.
is Italy because the people are
Pronto.
real.
Is the pizza good?
La bella.
Is the Italian pizza different than what we eat here?
Of course, because the water is different, you know, and the
I've-
water is the base of the dough, basically, you know, and the more you go north, the more I like the pizzas, you know.
More
I don't like
peaceful.
the thick crust. I like it
So we're going to see
thin.
Manaf in Italy.
We will.
They feed us pizza.
And I've been to Milan, by the way. Como is not really far away from Milan.
No,
I
it's
haven't
like-
been to Como.
yeah, it's like 20 minutes.
I know it's not really far away from Milan, but we usually actually wrap up our interview with our guest by asking him the type of music he likes. So, and since you like Italy, maybe our band can actually play something that is mucho, whatever. Yeah, do you know the song?
Yeah.
Okay,
Why
so
not?
this is going to be, you know, a special song for you, Mana, from our band, Hassan, and the guys in the band.
Cool. Thanks,
Can you play it,
guys.
please? Bravo. With this music, I can imagine the boats, the mountain, the lake, Como.
And Don Chichi El Awali.
Oh, and Grazia. Grazia. Well, thanks a lot, Mana, for being with us tonight.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, guys. Thank you.
Thanks again.
Thank you so much.
We're going to move on for our movie segment, Rasha.
Yes, it's yours and Shahabi. I'm really excited and to listen, to know what's new.
A lot.
What
There's
are
a
your
lot.
things? What are you going to tell us about? What are you going to complain about? Because I know you guys have a lot to say about the cinema this week and a lot of movies that you are going to discuss.
So let's prepare the set and take a break, and we'll have all the good movies for you guys.
We're at their 1954 film house. Now, what makes it so special? It's clearly the interior. So over here, they have all of these different posters. Over here that caught my eye was The Wizard of Oz, obviously. Now, going back a little bit, there are some Arabic movies, there are some Indian movies, and there are a lot of movies that I don't even know, but I hope that one day I might be able to actually watch all of them. Now, see, over here we have Elvis Presley. Come on. It's just so cool over here. Let's look at the wooden and golden touches of the screen. It's beautiful. Now they've locked away some really important things over here, and I can see a microphone over here, but what really caught my eye, if the camera starts following me, is we can actually see the 3D glasses from the past, and how they are today. Now today they're even more modern than that. So we're still here, it's a classic theater, but at the same time, technology has evolved so much since then. So we have a bit of the past with a flair for the future. Now, as you can tell, this is an old cinema device, and this is the lens from where the projector would actually play the movies. Now, if you come with me a little bit, once we try to open this up, this is what the inside of a cinema projector actually looked like. It's really interesting because if you come to the back with me a little bit, you're gonna see that there are different things over here. A right mirror tilt, a negative crutch, an inspection lamp, on, feed monitors, negative, positive, all of this just to play a movie. And what's so interesting right now is they actually use electronic devices and electronic projectors to actually play movies, whereas in the past, it took a while for them to actually start this up. Now, this was made in England, but we don't know what year it was, but as we can tell, it's very old.
It's October, and this is like usually the month of Halloween where they celebrate it, over the seas. But last week we spoke about Halloween, and it's #1 in the box office in the U.S., Shabi.
Yeah, that's very shocking.
Why? Why shocking?
What did you think about it?
I thought it was a good movie.
It was a casual Halloween.
Well, it's #1.
It's number one.
It passed the James Bond movie too.
Thank God. That's good. Okay, that's good news.
You don't seem to like any of these movies. So anyway, we spoke a lot about Halloween last time.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing, the information that we mentioned last time about Mustafa Al-Aqad, because he's the one who started the whole thing.
Yeah, the 1978.
Exactly. And then his son Malik Al-Aqad is continuing. The interesting thing is that in Kuwait, this weekend, they're showing the movie Al-Risala, The Messenger, in the cinema in Al-Quds 1954. In both versions, the Arabic one,
the English one,
and the English one.
Abdullah Ghaith and the Anthony Quinn.
Right, the Abdullah Ghaith, who played the role of Hamza in the Arabic version, and there was Muna Wasif, Dor Hind, in the Arabic version.
Yes.
Erin Pappas was in the English version, and Anthony Quinn, as you said. The cool thing is that they're playing the movie every other day, like one day Arabic, and then the second day you can go for the English version.
Oh, interesting.
And then go back for Arabic the third day, and fourth day English, and so on.
This is a milestone. I don't think they showed it before, right?
No, this is amazing. They're showing The Messenger
and it
in
was
Kuwaiti
off the
cinema.
schedule, so that's what's nice.
And we know, as we mentioned last time, Mr. Sanousi, and Kuwait is one of the producers of the movies with Libya and Syria and other production companies. And I think now we can go to the US box office.
Okay.
2 great movies. Well, they just started Dune, and we laughed about it last time because we showed in Kuwait before them. And other than Dune, we have The French Dispatch.
I'm very excited about this.
How come?
I really, really love Wes Anderson. He's a director that's giving you theatrical direct. They call his style directing.
Uh-huh.
But when you look at his scenes, this is one of the very few directors that I can watch while the movie's on mute. Because the scenery is that beautiful.
Exactly.
The details, the colors.
The what they call it, the auteur, I think they call it.
Auteur.
Yes, where the director plays on the scenes and on the each frame of the movie is like a painting.
It's beautiful.
It is. And the cool thing in the movie, we have Benicio del Toro, And we have Adrian Brody, Timothy Chalamet. We have a great ensemble cast. There's Bill
As
Murray
always,
too.
we always have an all-star cast in his movies.
Owen Wilson, Liev Schreiber, Edward Norton, William Dafoe. So many good actors in the movie. Unfortunately, it's not yet in the calendar of the movies in the Kuwaiti theaters.
Why?
I don't know.
You have friends. You have friends. I mean, they're giving you a screening and everything, so tell me.
You went to the Halloween movie, right?
I did, yeah, thank you. Okay,
Okay, I don't want to say that I gave you some tickets.
Okay, you're going to use that against me? Okay.
And I got you the popcorn today. Okay. Before we go to the popcorn, let's speak about Bollywood, because last week we spoke about Bollywood, the movies, and people, a lot of people are fans of the Indian movies, other than the Indians themselves, for sure. So currently, in the local theaters of Kuwait, they're showing a Tamil Indian movie, and Tamil is one of the languages where it's mostly in maybe the southern part, maybe with Malayalam and the other languages of India. It's called The Doctor. It's a very good movie, but it's not the mainstream of the Bollywood, like where Shah Rukh Khan and Salman Khan and so on, because of the language.
So this is considered as indie?
Bollywood? It is. No, it's not an indie movie. It's an Indian movie,
Indian?
But it's Tamil.
Tamil, okay.
Exactly, it's Tamil. Because what we usually hear is the Indian language and the Urdu, maybe, but not the Tamil. Tamil has its own people who actually like to watch these movies.
That's interesting.
There are two movies also going to be released today in India, because on Friday, every Friday there is the movies, because their weekend starts on Friday. So there is the movie Bablo Bachelor. It's 2 hours and 10 minutes, by the way, only.
Wow.
Yes.
This is considered an episode, not a movie for Indians.
You've been making a lot of fun about the duration of the Indian
I just
movies.
love my time, that's all.
So Pablo Bachelor is a romance comedy. It's a nice movie, and it's going to be shown in the theaters, by the way, and
Locally.
not in Netflix. No, not in Kuwait, in India.
India, okay.
Yes. The other movie is Baavi. Baavi is a type of theater that is in Gujarat, in India. And now there is this movie, which also should be a good one. It's a romance movie. And I'm sure you notice most of the Indian movies are romantic.
Of course. Regardless what the plot is, there is always dancing and the hero's journey, and everybody wins the girl at the end. So
Well, they like to cheer up people, make them happy.
I'm happy for them. Yeah.
The last movie before we get into the popcorn thing is Anthem, The Final Truth, which will be released on 26th of November. By Salman Khan.
Okay.
And Salman Khan is like the second best now in India after Shah Rukh Khan. A lot of people like him. The good thing is that with him in the movie is Ayush Sharma. Ayush Sharma is his brother-in-law. He married his sister in 2014. He did a beautiful movie last year produced by Salman Khan, which is Love Yatri, with Zarina Wahab. Oh my God, that was an amazing movie. I loved it. So the producer is Salman Khan.
Okay.
And his brother-in-law, so why not? He's in the lead.
So what's that?
Well, he's a good actor.
Yes,
He's been also the assistant director in many movies of Salman, like Bajrangi Bhaijaan, and also the Tube Light, and Sultan, and so many other movies. Okay, we're done with the Indian movies, and now it's your game with the popcorn movies. Tell me.
So recently I wrote an article. It's called Movies and Popcorn Movies. Apparently you told me that there is actually...
It is. It's a term used also internationally.
Okay. For me, I don't know what the term is, but for me it's when I go to the theaters and knowing the headlines of the movie, I have more expectations of enjoying the popcorn than enjoying actually
You mean
movie.
Artistically,
yes.
Not
speaking.
just a commercial movie
Not
or
just
mainstream.
a commercial. Yeah, mainstream. So let's just say that the Fast and Furious franchise, it's definitely an ultimate popcorn.
Okay.
Marvel movies, even though they're fun, but they're popcorn.
But isn't cinema about entertainment and having fun?
Yeah, but usually if you trace back with the great directors, Ingmar Bergman or Kubrick, Tarkovsky, they want you to leave the theater not with a remark about the popcorn. They want to leave you with an idea. They want an idea to reside in you and you think about it.
And we said one of the great movies is actually Wings of Desire.
Oh, that movie. That was a tribute from Femme Finders in 1987.
A romantic fantasy.
A romantic
A
fantasy.
German-French movie.
German-French. It was an obvious tribute from Femme Finders, which is a master when it comes to lighting.
One wonders.
Yes, and everybody told him that you did great in Paris, Texas, in terms of lighting. So instead of clinging to this wild card, which everybody's hailing, he shot the entire movie, let's say 95% in black and white.
True,
not
because
just in
of
black
like,
and
the
white,
vision of the angels in
the
the movie.
vision, he shot it in the way Ingmar Bergman shot his movies. So that was a beautiful
So the movie is partially colored and also black and white.
Let's
as
say
we said.
97% of it is black and white.
Well, maybe we did the popcorn movies really quick, like as we're heading towards the
Thank
end
you
of
for
our
the
segment.
popcorn, but after the Big Ramy segment, I'm on a diet.
So popcorn movies, as Shabi said, these are type of movies where you just get in, you don't really get much, but you have fun, and then you leave, not necessarily with a message or like artistic touch, the way Shabi likes the movies. Okay, I guess next week we can speak about more movies, maybe. X-Men and the others.
Definitely, that's actually a good movie.
Okay, more popcorn next week.
I'll bring it next time.
Okay, great. Oh, you don't like these popcorns? Okay, so we're gonna conclude the episode for tonight after this short break, and Rasha, she's gonna join us to say goodbye for you in tonight's episode. Stay tuned. We still have the goodbye part. Well, we're at the end of our episode for tonight, Rasha.
Yes, we are, and we had lots of great guests and news. The top news that everyone should know, that life is going back to normal in Kuwait and visas are opening, and you can remove your mask in open places.
And in the cafes and restaurants with having
which is
social
cool.
distancing.
Yes, so just stay safe and be responsible. That's all we want, and please enjoy your weekend.
Have a nice weekend. Until we meet, inshallah, next time. There are going to be more interesting guests for you and more reports and, things that we include in our program. We'll be so happy to meet you again, inshallah, next Friday. You have a good one. Bye-bye.